Dad, is your hair dryer over here? Yeah, stop.
No.
I don't even know what I look like. You're not filming, are you?
No.
Right now? Are you?
I wouldn't lie to you, would I? Have I ever lied to you before in my life?
Here.
You think I would do that? Some terrible thing. Taking a picture of a woman.
I don't even know what I look like, Dad.
Having her hair done.
We got to break it up a little more.
Some years from now, you girls are going to love these pictures. You say. So there we are. The camera, the evil eye, goes everywhere, sees everything.
No.
Okay. There's Bob with his wonderful tan.
Just went out on the cruise today, the Molly Todd or whatever her name was. So I got a little sunburnt off my head.
Dad, you're not putting...
Comes the old boat. Let's come a little closer here to where we are. Campers. Never fallen his car, right? Rode his bike all the way across. What are you gonna do?
Don't film it.
Gonna film you.
No.
One little tiny shot.
Don't. No.
Okay, I won't.
Dad! Stop! You getting it, Dad?
Yeah. I need to get a little bit more like this. There we go. Here's Mom feeding the seagull. Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. Yes.
Seagulls love cheese and crackers.
Heather, you want to turn off that
yeah.
stuff, please? I got Mom feeding the seagull.
That's all I have.
You got some more? Here, come on, just go off and live and stay a few more. Just give me another handful. Yes, 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 yes. Yes, Mr. Stoop.
He's going to be sick.
You're supposed to chew these suckers before you swallow them, Mr. Seagull. He doesn't want to catch them in the air, does he? He waits till they're on the ground. But he's a ground feeder, he's not an air feeder.
This guy don't want to be sick. He's used to fish.
Give him a couple more and that's it. Yes. Well, he just swallows them whole.
Yeah.
Oh, they're down there in his gullet.
I'll give him a
That's all.
couple and then close the door.
Okay.
Okay. Let's close the door.
Good boy. Good boy. That's all.
He said,
Well, we got a little hungry here at 11:14 on July the 18th. A couple of tugboats here in Belfast. Stopped here at the Weathervane Lobsters. You can buy your lobster or get them to fix it for you. And Colin's family having lunch.
Still on, Dad.
Now here's the cute little town of Camden, Maine. This is one of the areas the Pooh Bear thinks real cute, and it had some real pretty houses. We came by a big castle on the way in.
oh, like, now he went all the way down there. I see. I just wanted to. Yeah.
Cute little town.
Down here? Oh, we can go down there. I'll go down the next one.
Okay.
That's not a road.
Yeah, yes it is, Mom. They're all roads.
Oh, I see. Well, that's a parking spot.
Well, be careful.
There's a road right up here.
Oh,
You can't go around.
Why not? Then you can back up.
I'm getting it on film.
Are you?
Yeah. Just go straight right now.
Oh,
Keep going straight.
Straight?
Now start to curve. Now start, not too sharp. Go straight, go straight, go straight, go straight. That's it. That's good. That's good. I'm getting some real good shots
Look at
of
that.
this.
Maybe
Mhm.
up here. That's really You guys are funny. I'd like to take care of that. I like
Don't worry, I'm shooting it. You'll be able to see it at home this evening. Bayview Artisans. Stone. This is a cute one. Trading company.
This is adorable. I'd like to spend 2 days here.
It's a big church. Wow, that'd be a nice church to be the minister of.
Although they're
We're coming into Wisconsin. Here, little bird. Little town thinks it's a town. Little bird thinks it's a town.
Get you up there, please. Thanks.
Yeah, I had the window down to take a shot of this.
She's got stars of the bluest skies, and if they thought of rain, I'd hate to look into those eyes and see an ounce of pain.
I like this song.
Her hair reminds me of a warm, safe place where I was a child on high. And the rain.
I got things rotting.
Yeah. It is rotting.
She's got to sit there till it falls into the ocean.
Yeah.
This is
Probably-
the town of
probably an
Wisconsin.
original one. Probably an original. Probably landed there and they left it there. That's interesting. You were. This is gorgeous. Look at these towns.
Yeah. They might let a McDonald's on the
Yeah,
outskirts, not right in the
that could be.
town, but
Yeah, that stinks.
that's pleasant. Nice comment.
There we go.
Yes, here we are. That is really moving and grooving. This kid is jiving on this. She's in her own little world, listening to her music, playing solitaire, the game in which she cheats all the time so that she can win every game.
Jag kan stå det så där.
And
Så sen går vi upp in där.
there's Mad Heidi singing, consulting the TV guide.
Jag kan stå i så. Ja, också så. Jag kan stå här.
And there's my lovely wife, Annie M.
Jag kan stå här. It's supposed to be a really good boy.
What is?
Here we are in Boston. We're almost at the Boston Commons. We're on Commonwealth. It's kind of interesting.
Be a little quieter, Mom.
Be fascinating. There's my love who's driving. He's very happy.
He's a happy guy.
He's a very thin guy. His shirt hung on him.
Yeah, there's
This
a
is
lot of
all
hanging around
Boston
here.
Commons. This is really interesting. The girls are going to laugh at me because of my voice when I'm recording. I think it's kind of quiet. I sound like one of those
So quiet.
people on TV.
Mom sounds like the person at the golf match.
I know.
He's lined up the shot. He's getting ready to putt.
He's not even that loud down here.
He's got his putter. The Boston Aquarium, and the date is July 20th. Something's off. It's not 5:26 a.m.
There's a restaurant on the left.
Restaurant on the left, Heather says, we're ready to eat. This is one hungry crew today.
We're in Boston Commons in a Mexican restaurant. Here we are. We got a buffet dinner. Heather got a taco salad. I'm just going to span this a little bit. This is a real pretty restaurant. All the way around. It overlooks the water and the boats.
He's lucky to be in the water. Hello. We're going to buy some fish. Notice you don't. Oh, hello.
When we get home this evening, I need to check and see it. It seems like it's a little dark in my pictures, and I want to make sure that I don't have some problem.
We'll get you some fish.
Right through there, we think there's the Bunker Hill Monument.
With all the different statues as well. It's real nice to walk
This is the
around.
new State House built in
Now over to the
1798.
right here, if you'll notice, I don't know if people from behind can see, but as we're going by, this is the 54th Regiment. This is the Colonel Robert Gould Shaw Monument, and that honors the 1st Black Army. Right here, you'll see 122. Well, that's 122 Bowdoin Street, since that's what we're on, while he was our 35th president. Black church still standing in America.
I love this book.
To the right over here, this is the Nichols House Museum. And this is the only house on Beacon Hill that is open to the public. Mary Nichols gave it to the city of Boston rather than her children because she didn't want them to change it. She knew her kids would. She wanted it left as is, which is what you have on Beacon Hill. Beacon Hill has everything. If we were driving through here 100 years ago, it would look basically the same. It's all been historically preserved, which is, I think, what this is what Beacon Hill is known for. 87 Beacon Hill, 87 Mount Vernon Street. That's where Charles Bulfinch designed and built that house for him. But then when he came to move in, he went bankrupt. Never got a chance. This whole area, very exclusive. This is Lewisburg Square on the right. And it looks like maybe they changed. Well, that's to mark off your property. You know, so when you're shoveling, you know where to stop. They also, Louisa May Alcott used to live there with her dad. Still houses today one-family mansions. So, very exclusive area. It used to have its own postal zip code. The Cheers Bar, yay! Named after, or the actually television show named after. Everyone look over your shoulders now. This is the view you get in the opening of the show. Now I do want to warn you though, that's its only similarity. Largest landfill project in Boston right here in this area. And what they did is they had trains traveling from Needham, Massachusetts, which is about a half an hour away from here, and it went back and forth round the clock, bringing fill from Needham and dumping it here in Boston. Now, the way they paid for this is they had all different developers all chip in money in exchange for a piece of land when the project was completed. Well, even with all of these hands into the project, it still worked out that it was controlled by the city, which is why it's the only unified area in Boston. And it's an Episcopal church that was built in the late 1800s. It is open to the public, so if you want to go in and check it out for yourself, it's really pretty inside. Lots of murals on the wall, stained glass windows. It's real pretty to see if you have a chance. Did you take this tour?
We sort of filmed the whole thing.
Now here, if anyone's staying in the 15 minutes, last pickup today, 5 o'clock.
Boston Tea Party.
There's the beaver. Yep, this is the stop.
There are these little penguins. And here are my little penguins. He's green.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy here.
What's an iguana? Oh, is it?
Look at these huge fish. These goldfish are really old.
He likes his little one.
They've been in this thing for a long time.
It's funny, I know.
That's cute.
We dissected sharks. Yeah, I think we did too.
Dissected a
We
starfish?
dissected almost everything.
You dissected starfish, Heidi?
Yeah, we did too.
This film will be shown in the auditorium next to the main aquarium entrance. Please arrive on
She's picking up. I bet it is.
Look at me. She makes him work for it, doesn't she? Eating the... what it is. Yeah. Oh, look at her. Now he goes away. Says, well, I had enough. That's the black lobster back in there that we're used to eating. But then here is a real colorful guy over there. And it's got another real colorful one in here too. A prettier kind of lobsters than the kind we're used to eating. Ooh, look at this ugly fish. 5-pound lobster. He'd take a long time to eat.
Well, wouldn't it?
That'd be enough for our whole family.
You couldn't crack the claws.
Couldn't crack the claws. You have to tie her.
Isn't that amazing? You have to use your head.
Out of Boston Harbor with a big battleship coming in.
Good place. I'd hate to.
Yeah, we came by that the other way, remember?
Yeah,
on the trolley, didn't we? Yeah.
Try to find our way to
That's where Peter
Cheers.
said, I think that everybody is,
This is horrid. They're lost. Listen to their conversation. Excuse me.
Okay, this is Cambridge.
Cambridge.
Okay,
Now I want to go up there.
Keep going, that turns into London. Stop, the red light.
Where's my car? I miss my
You
car.
gotta get old London.
I'm going to go through there.
Yeah, but you gotta wait for the light.
You don't have to wait for a light. Nobody else does.
Yeah, but you gotta wait.
Okay, and then you're gonna go to keep going till you get to Beacon Street.
I saw him looking, so I just had to. I decided to film him because he was staring at me. What you see now is forever on film. He was a nice man.
Straight to London. One here.
You want to be
Park in front of him.
Doesn't matter.
Hey, you can park right there. We're gonna go here right now. See
That
ya.
says resident park. Boston Commons. And we're looking out over the water and everything else. People here. And
That's where the reenactment
some horses or whatever over there. And that lovely dog. Here we go to Cheers.
It's probably not until 9 o'clock a week.
Well, this is the Swan Pond in the Boston Commons. It's kind of towards evening here, people around, beautiful willow trees, weeping willows hanging down, the swans over there. This is the First Presbyterian Church of Quincy, Massachusetts. And this is where this is the church where I was interviewed And the pastor nominating committee got into a fight, so we decided not to come here. They called us in Bel Air and asked if they could send 6 people out to hear me preach. And I told them it wasn't worth their time. But this is, so here it is on this Sunday, July 22nd, I believe it is. Certainly not 5:23 a.m. And that's the manse. That's the house we would have lived in. This street, Franklin Street, goes down to the birthplace of John Adams and John Quincy Adams, Quincy, Massachusetts here. This interesting church where he went to church this morning.
Quincy Adams' home.
Birthplace.
Whatever happened to
Quincy.
it? Rug. Remember I got it repaired?
Quincy,
It's still
Massachusetts.
broke the very first day after I got it repaired too.
Little big Catholic church on the left here.
Very,
Wow.
That's the same steeple as the
Look at
Presbyterian
that.
church.
yeah, it's very colonial, even though it's
Wow.
Catholic, it's kind of a... Okay, here we are. A lovely family. Pooh, do you want to move over like this? Right there behind, honey?
Get out of this.
A little bit. Can you, Heidi, can you stop towards me a little bit? Okay, good. And the Pooh Bear right behind you? Okay.
That's good.
Okay. They're the 2 lovely girls.
Bob, he's lost 4 pounds on this trip. Here's Heidi in her new outfit.
just had my big lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Dad and daughter. Little girl.
Stop!
It's off. Oh.
There.
There we are. Now the light's on. Dad was with Heidi a minute ago.
We don't have some foods, Dad.
Okay, where are we going, Heather?
I don't know.
We're going to the pool, babe. That's where we're going. Zeta.
There's my pin. I got it
Zeta,
yesterday.
Zeta, Zeta, Zeta. Can't you hear the music playing in the village square? Boom, boom, boom.
Well, point 2, we've already gone point 2.
Here we are coming in. Go a little bit slower. That's just me. Oh no, never mind.
Keller Army Hospital.
Army Hospital. Keller.
I know.
Oh,
Killer.
Keller. Well, we're in West Point right now.
Oh, it said visitors and staff that way.
What?
What? It said visitors.
Oh, we think that some of these are the homes of the professors here at West Point. On July, what day is today? About the 24th, 1990.
Let's see.
I don't know what it is, but it looks interesting. It's the,
Definitely government housing. All these buildings.
Aren't they beautiful?
Exactly alike.
Yeah.
Just beautiful.
Well, they were all built back in the 40s and 50s, so that's the reason why the architecture is the way it is.
It's gorgeous, though.
No, but that's
filming
the
it?
Army Stadium.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is.
Oh, isn't that something? Ah.
You'll see that on TV next fall. And
Oh, I
you
have.
see,
I've seen it before.
Mitchie Stadium.
Look at those guys hiding in.
They look like little boys, though. I think they're about 10.
Here we are, our family going to the visitor center at
Wait,
West
film
Point.
me, film me.
There she is. Where's she going? She's backing up. Okay. Oh, her new outfit. Her lovely hair done this morning. Oh, she is thin too.
I want to see myself after
Yeah,
this is
it's
over.
good to, right, it's good to
Okay.
see yourself.
Sign to the West Point Visitor Center. My lovely wife Ann. My lovely daughters. And here we are at the visitor center. USMA Spelman Hall.
There's Bob.
It's much thinner now.
Yeah, his new outfit. See, doesn't he look good? Burl, strong, aggressive,
Mean fighting machine.
mean fighting machine. It's his image.
2 lovely daughters
Sorry.
standing in front of the visitor center, which we can put alongside the visitor center to the Air Force Academy from last year. Mrs. Brown, you've got a lovely daughter.
Shh. Don't say.
The long gray line has never failed us. Were you to do so, a million ghosts in all of drab and brown, khaki and blue and gray would rise from their white crosses, thundering those magic words: duty, honor, country. General Douglas MacArthur.
So I don't strain my voice. I have to do that outside. Well, good afternoon. Welcome to West Point. This originally was a military fortification. Way back in 1802, I'm having a brain spaz. July 4th, Thomas Jefferson signed it into legislation as the nation's first military academy. Now he did this because we needed gentlemen and later on ladies of unquestionable character and democratic values. So they decided to have a uniformed program for these people. However, when they opened up West Point, they did it with 10 cadets, 5 instructors, and absolutely no standards for entrance nor for graduation. In 1816, they ran out of money. $65,000 a superintendent was forced to borrow from one of the New York merchants in order to keep West Point open. So they sent Sylvanus there over to Europe. He studied education, economics, came back here at the age of 32, and is now known as the father of West Point. Now the building, you'll notice the faces on them are very similar. The building is built by granite that was quarried out of the superintendent's backyard, and the church pipe organ in the world. It has 18,703 pipes in it. It is gorgeous. The pipes came from Europe, and the church itself was built from the Moeller church people in Maryland. Please be careful getting out of the boat.
The chapel. Well, isn't this pretty? 14,000 people apply here. They accept 1,400, and they
Graduated 895.
graduate 895. Total of 400 women, about 100 a class.
Now, you see some of the pipes up there? These are some of the 18,703 pipes in this church. Now, these are actual battle flags that we use. The stained glass windows that you see in this chapel were all gifts of classes that graduated from West Point. They were all gifts donated in memory of a class 100 years prior. The first window that was put in was down there, and it was placed in 1910 at the cost of $275 and at the value of $10,000. The company loved West Point so much, they never increased the price of them.
Well, let's do
So
this.
the same price for every single window. They picked biblical military history. The total value of these windows, by the way, is $3 million. Follow me in, people. And on Sunday mornings, it's packed. It is non-denominational service. This particular pew here will never be sat in. That is because it is already filled. It is filled in now this is the church where the top portion of this organ is computerized. The organist does come in here, and what he does is he plays certain segments of the piece he's going to be playing on Sundays, logs it into the computer or saves it, and then of course now this church organ started as a very small organ. Through donations, developed plaques here. This organ was built up from a very small traditional organ up to the organ that you now see. French, and each different countryman that comes here always has gee, this looks like a church from France or a church from Germany or a church from Italy. But it's framed very big mantle. That is a leper squib. Way back when, in Europe, lepers would like to partake of the service. However, they were not allowed to sit with many people. So they had to be kept segregated in that leper squib. History in the making, if you will. The plaques range from 1906 up until now. Okay. We have MacArthur, we have Blackjack Pershing, as well as General Westmoreland, just to name a couple of them. Now, we'll load up on the bus and we'll go back, we'll go over to Trophy Point. On the other side of that field house, the way back. This is all the track fields. We do a lot of different sports down here. And we have Eisenhower Hall. This has the largest auditorium, well, I should say the second largest auditorium. It is second only to Radio City Music Hall. It seats 5 supporters. And the white building with the gray trim, of course, is where they have the superintendent. And you can see the cadets out here. They're all lined up in different companies. The reason for the white gloves is so that the cadre instructor can watch where the hands are at all times. We are going to be getting down and talking a little bit about them.
Oh, okay.
On the other side of the bus is Trophy Point. And it is our outdoor museum. We'll be getting out there. And we will get dressed up in his full dress uniform. His spurs on Major General Sedgwick. And the next morning on his exam, of course, he will ace it. Great. It's for designing the military fortifications that are now known as West Point, but originally was a combined effort of Fort Putnam, Fort Clinton, as well as Fort Washington, which was formerly known as Fort Arnold. Then of the Cadet Library is General Patton. General Patton was not a still takes 4 years. However, that was because he said he could never find his way to the library. So when he died, that's where they put a statue right in front of the library so he'd never get lost again. On the mouth of these cannons in the front. The people that died in these wars are all labeled on each cannonball. So they're all kind of categorized. The piece of granite here is the largest solid piece of granite in the Western Hemisphere. And I also want you to know that the people that survived the Civil War paid 6% of their monthly salary per year. No, sir. These are regular sailboat
Down there in the island way up.
Oh, I got some in my eye.
We know there was a lot of smooching done down there. A little bit of history. The piece of land that has that little lighthouse there is Constitution Island. It is not part of West Point. Now, when we talk about the chain link, it is from Constitution Island over to that point there.
Sure.
Oh, it is.
You see the clock? Douglas MacArthur was a bit of a scallywag.
he enjoyed a good joke. So he took a Reveille cannon like this, and in one evening brought it up on that clock tower. It took the West Point officials 2 weeks to find that clock tower and bring it back down. They're now vaulted up. Right there at the music center, we get free concerts.
Oh, sorry.
We get free concerts.
Good night.
Later, somebody told me they didn't have to do that anymore.
Good work.
Sure, the Revolutionary War. Originally in 1700. These are new plebes. If you want to go, these are new plebes. They just got here. You have plebes, yearlings, cows, and firsties. That's your freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. These are new cadets. They have no first name. They are known as new cadet and whatever their last name is. This is until the end of the first semester, and then they, of course, they become cadet instead of new cadet. At the end of their second semester, first year, the first day, they have what they call a recognition day. And that, of course, is when they have a first name. Everything is done by means of tradition here at West Point. There are no privileges for a plebe. There are a few more privileges for a yearling. There are a few more privileges for a cow. And then, of course, a first day is allowed a vehicle on this post. Up until then, ladies, you cannot go home unless you go home on a pass. These are young men and young women, 17 to 22 years old. These are top-of-the-line people. These are going to be our future leaders in private industry as well as in the military. The gray building you see behind me is their barracks area. It is where they eat, they sleep, they socialize, and they study, and they have their classes. The buildings that you see continuing on there are also additional classrooms to accommodate them. This parade field is known also as the Plain. It will accommodate 4,000 so that they don't get their weapons dirty or as dirty. And it also allows the cadre instructor to watch where the hands are going when they're marching. So it can last all morning and all afternoon. Depends on how bad they do.
Now,
Yes,
when classes start, then they don't do it.
Well, yes, they still do this every day. It's drill instruction. About an hour, an hour and a half. It's squeezed in with their academics. Now, they being the new cadets, come here July 1st. These are hot off the press. August 15th to August 17th, somewhere in there, they start classes. They finish their academics June 1st. They go for vacation June 1st to June 21st. They come back June 22nd. They start in on military sciences. And they go... Sir, real?
Time for him on a trip.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Were you filming when I did that? There they go.
It extends to every
Mock-up of a cadet meeting.
including life in the barracks. Standard barracks arrangement guides dictate the proper care and organization of living areas, as well as the proper display of uniforms, shoes, and personal items. Cadet rooms are subject to inspection by tactical officers and cadet leadership on a daily basis. The room you're in now
Of a tradition as old as the nation itself. West Point's role in the nation's history dates back to the Revolutionary War. Both the colonists and the British fully recognized the strategic importance of controlling the high ground dominating the narrow S-turn in the Hudson River at West Point. Because of the strategic importance of this scenic, beautiful, and rugged location, George Washington called West Point the most important position on the continent. It was heavily fortified in 1778, and General Washington moved his headquarters here in 1779. Fortress West Point was never captured by the British, and it remains to this day the oldest continuously occupied military post in the country. General Washington had a vision about the future of West Point. Seeking independence from future wartime reliance on foreign engineers, artillerists, and drill masters, Washington, along with Henry Knox, Alexander Hamilton, John Adams, and others, urged the creation of an institution devoted to teaching the arts and science of warfare. What better place than West Point?
See, they didn't have this before the Revolution. She was wrong about
Yeah.
that. I didn't think they did.
In the words of General Washington, such a school has ever been considered by me as an object of primary importance to this country. West Point continues to be an object of primary importance to this country. It has endured. The first of the nation's service academies, West Point has trained officer leaders since Thomas Jefferson signed legislation in 1802, establishing the military academy. With each graduating class, the long and distinguished tradition of West Point, producing leaders for a lifetime, continues. Here on the Hudson, there are more career opportunities than at virtually any college campus in the nation. The college of your choice should be able to open the way
because of the challenge. And I can say over my 4 years here that I have been challenged.
for the responsible leadership roles they will assume upon graduation. 2 scholarships awarded. Some 2% of each graduating class have the opportunity to attend medical school immediately upon graduation. It bears repeating that West Point prepares its graduates for a greater variety of career opportunities than at virtually any college or university in the nation. The challenging academic demands of cadet life are common to new cadet. The emphasis is on personal appearance, military drill, and physical fitness. Camp Buckner, where cadets are introduced to the branches of the Army. During the last 2 summers, cadets receive exciting military skills and leadership training in locations around the world.
Jump on the point.
2 summers ago, I was assigned as a platoon leader at Fort Hood, Texas. I was in charge of 4 M1 tanks. This is a lot of responsibility for me. It was the first time I actually got to lead actual Army unit. When I first came in as a freshman, I'd heard about the program during the 3rd summer, and I was a little nervous then, thinking that I was going to be actually leading Army equipment and Army personnel.
Yours is the profession of arms, the will to win, the sure knowledge that in war there is no substitute for success. That if you lose, the nation will be destroyed. That the very obsession of your public service must be duty, honor, country. In my dreams, I hear again the crash of guns, the rattle of musketry, the strange, mournful mutter of the battlefield. But in the evening of my memory, always I come back to West Point. Always there echoes and re-echoes duty, honor, country.
Yeah. I think 4,000.
I chose to come to West Point because I wanted in my college education
Lee, Patton, Bradley, Pershing, Borman, and Scott. And the list goes on. Personal integrity.
The reason why it's here is because the strategic spot on the Hudson. 16. First Engineering Academy, 1817, 1865, end of the old Civil War. Delafield Springs and West Point in the Mexican War. West Point in the Civil War. I'm pretty sure that's Grant up there. That guy's Custer. Cadetson Laboratory 1905. Who wore that to church? Who wore that to church?
JJ.
Thank you. Military Academy of World War 1917, 1945. John J. Pershing. General MacArthur. George Patton. And Omar Bradley. And Dwight David Eisenhower. Cadet bathrobe. There's the cadet uniform, 1917 to 1945. And a uniform that I wore, this green one.
Worn in 1924. Next to his uniform.
This is the kind of uniform that I wore when I was in the Reserve Officers Training Corps back in 1959 to 61.
That belly.
I don't think I could get in it today, but it's the same olive green, had the same kind of brass buttons and
Heather McCoy.
things like that on it.
Up to your nose.
Okay, thank you very much. Army 6.
Dad said he lost weight in his legs. Yeah, he did. You can tell. Mom's lost weight too. There's Mom's purse. The one I bought her that Dad hates.
Dad likes it.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, hey, Heather and Ian, you have to come back and see this. This is the rifle, the M1 rifle that won World War II. And this is the rifle that I used when I marched in RTC. And I was able to take that whole thing apart. Because the stock here comes loose from the rest of it. And then all the different parts, and I had to be able to do it with my eyes closed, and they would blindfold you, and then they would take a part away from it. You'd be putting it back together again. History of warfare. Ancient warfare. Egyptian battle 2000 BC. Alexander the Great, the Roman army, triumph of the Roman Vehicular Legion. See the short sword? That was something that the Romans developed. Always before they had long swords because they thought they could keep the other person away, but the Romans developed a short sword for in close fighting. Now you used your spear. Volunteers be
Can you go to I thought we would do one here. That's like a slingshot.
Medieval armory.
They used to throw people on that though, didn't they?
No, they were rocks.
Receive Gustavus Adolphus. Honor. 1649. First modern tactics.
I don't care.
World War II and Blitzkrieg, invasion of Russia. Paratroopers, German paratroopers rifle, amphibious warfare, strategic bombing and the atomic bomb site. B-17 flying corpus. Hiroshima, 1945. Not much left, is there?
I know, we're walking so slow, I feel like a dead cat.
Washington Galley, 1912. Civil War. The Civil War, the battles.
What's the program the other night on legal firms?
What?
Can't open. That's World War I.
Campaigns in Europe and the Pacific. The Vietnam War. So, uniform of General Westmoreland. Kind of interesting, this is the relative importance of weapons of land warfare on the battlefields of the world. Weapons change, but man who uses them changes not at all. Macedonians adopt long infantry pikes and cavalry lances. The Roman short sword and javelin conquer the western world. The javelin gives the Roman legion firepower. The horse archer dominates Asia. The stirrup, heavy cavalry with the lance, rules the European battlefield. Battle axe and mace can penetrate armor. The crossbow, the English longbow. The sword becomes the symbol of command. The pike gradually disappears with the advent of gunpowder. Then we have the age of the infantry musket, the internal combustion engine, artillery, missile, bomb, grenade, machine gun, rifle, and submachine gun, pistol club, bayonet, dagger, and atomic bomb. Oh, here we are, down in the Grandma Ruth's.